Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us, and I want to thank my legislative colleagues, members of the legislative branch, for joining me for this bill signing today. I particularly want to thank President Dismay, who has shepherded this in terms of the Senate, and Speaker Gillum, who is still working the House and finishing there, but for their extraordinary partnership and help in really building a coalition of support to address and to pass what is now Senate Bill 975. As you recall, yesterday, which is just 24 hours ago, I asked the legislature to draft a bill that is consistent with the federal RFRA law, and they have labored into the night. They have worked in a bipartisan way. It took a redraft of a bill, running it through the legislative process, answering questions, building the support, and I know that it was a lot of drain emotionally. I know it was a lot of frustration. I know that it was not fun toward the end of the session. I want to thank each of you from my heart to yours for the extra efforts that you put in to really crafting an Arkansas solution to the challenge that we faced. And I think what you've done in the last 24 hours is something that every Arkansan can be proud of, and I want to express my gratitude to you. It has come now to my desk as Senate Bill 975. This bill is bipartisan. It has received overwhelming support in both houses. It protects religious freedom. It is a framework for decisions by the courts that has to balance all the issues in our society. And it continues to recognize that in Arkansas and across our nation we have a diverse workforce and a diverse culture. And so with that, I believe we have Senate Bill 975 for signature, and I would ask my colleagues to join us. And I want to particularly, before we do that though, recognize Representative Ballinger for his patience and his support, and Senator Stubblefield, that without their cooperation it would have been much more difficult. It could not have been done. I recognize the leadership already. Representative Ballinger, thank you for your leadership. We've had support from groups and coalitions across the board that has helped us to do this, and I express my appreciation to them as well. And I know it's been a contentious debate. We've resolved it in an Arkansas way and in the right way for our country and for the people of Arkansas. I want to thank members of both sides and Representative Armstrong for your passion on this issue. Senator Chesterfield as well. Many of these joined in, all of these joined in the bill in co-sponsorship. So thank you, and let's join the table here and do a bill signing. I want you to know I have read this bill. I did not want to neglect that particular part of it. It is now law. It has emergency clause, so it's now the law of Arkansas. The legislature, the House, has to go back in session before they go home, I trust. But they're anxious to go back, but there are one or two questions.
Governor, you mentioned the possibility of executive order for state agencies and the agencies remaining order. Is that still in the works?
You know, our full focus has been on this effort. This is the most critical piece of the puzzle, and so I'll continue to work on that and address that down the road. That's still an option, but this is the most important thing that we were able to accomplish today.
What are you going to do with 1228?
That's the will of the body, and the House will go back and determine that. Mr. Speaker, did you have anything to say in that regard?
We're going to be finishing up our calendar here in a few minutes, and then we'll be taking up from that point forward on the matter of 1228 and what the body will do with it at that point. So.
Governor, can you address concerns from some groups that the new version doesn't go far enough and that it doesn't specify protections for LGBT or other groups?
Well, as I said yesterday, this debate goes on. But the fact that it might not solve every problem for everyone probably means that it's a good bill. And it does the three things that I outlined. It protects religious freedom. It establishes a framework for the balancing act that the courts must determine in these type of cases. And thirdly, I think it does recognize the diversity of our culture and our workforce. That's the Arkansas solution. I think it sends us the right signal, the way this has been resolved to the world and to the country, that Arkansas understands the diversity of our culture and workforce, but also the importance of balance that with our sincerely held religious convictions. And so this mirrors the federal law. That was the objective. It does that. They work very closely to do that. We've accomplished that result.
Representative Miller on the floor today accused you of hiding behind the legislature. Do you have a response to that?
Well, you know, we work with the legislature, and I think this demonstrates it. Yesterday, I announced my position. They have responded to that. That's called the balance of power in our society and under our Constitution. I respect the legislature. I can't tell you what to do. When it gets to my desk, they can't tell me what to do. But we have to work through these things, and I think what's happened in the last few days is the best of our country, the best of our democracy, that we were able to do this, working together, sometimes with some tension, but that tension produces a good result, and it did in this instance.
I wonder if you had thought any more about this ballot measure that would grant civil rights to...
That's another thing wonderful about our democracy. If they get the signatures, it will be on the ballot, and the people of Arkansas will decide. Thank you all very much.